You're watching Magpie's Life Stories. Greetings, comrades. It is me again, Private Magpie Petrovsky, and I've joined the Red Army so that I can fight the Nazis on the Eastern Front. Whoa! Anyway, I'm not here to die. I'm here to tell you all a story. So it all started when me and Reese were in music class. The teacher had explained that for our assignment we had to find a group, choose a song, and make a performance to go with it. Naturally, being the weird kid, I just sat on the floor waiting for someone to pick me for their group. I waited and waited and waited, but no one came. Once it was only me and Reese left, the teacher looked at us both, and we both knew what we had to do. The next thing we had to do was pick a song, so we both opened Google and searched for random songs. But then the music that signaled lunch break started playing, and we all left the room with no song chosen. The next day, we sat at a table while one of the teachers in training tried to give us suggestions, without success of course. Just as my mind started to drift, I had an idea. This idea might have been the best idea ever thought up by all of mankind. Me and Reese would dance to Rasputin. The teacher approved of the song and showed us to our practice room. It was a small recording studio with cables and musical instruments laying all over the floor. There had to be at least 4 keyboards crammed into a tiny bit of space that we would have to call home for the next 5 weeks. And by far the most noticeable thing in the room was a massive window that took up most of the right wall and looked into a separate practice room. As we looked around the room, we both made the same conclusion. We had gotten the absolute best room in the class. We started getting comfortable by turning off the light and throwing keyboard grips at each other. A few days later, we were doing tricks with tambourines where we threw them in the air and caught them, most of the time. When we weren't messing around, we were practicing our Russian dance moves and listening to the Soviet Union national anthem while we did. We heard from our teacher that our performance would be recorded, so we would have to make sure it was absolutely perfect. The day of the performance had arrived. I was waiting for Reese to get here, but he never showed up. So I just sat in the recording studio, nervously awaiting my turn to dance. Suddenly, my teacher came around the corner with the camera. I jumped up and started kicking my legs into the air. Then I moved out of the studio, got on all fours, and started kicking my hands and my feet up, before collapsing onto the floor from exhaustion. Well, that concludes today's story, my comrades. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you later, my dudes.